Everybody, Type Body Artist here again, and today I'm going to be drawing some more Dungeons and Dragons adventures that I've had in the past month or so. So yeah, really starting to get into it now, feeling more comfortable with the Dungeons and Dragons format, which makes everything a lot more fun. And I think the Dungeon Master is throwing a few more challenges at us as well. So the second adventure, or the second drawing that I do at least, is probably one of my favorites. I also had a lot of fun on that adventure as well, so keep an eye out for that one. And let's get into some of the drawings. So as you can see with this drawing, I have started off with some crooked glasses, but I do fix that a little bit later. There's still a little bit crooked there, so once I get to the line art, that's when I'll start straightening that up. But I've done this one in a long angle, so I'm giving you two views of it, so the bottom view and then the top view as I draw them out. But yeah, this one was very interesting storyline. It was a pretty straightforward storyline, really. We had to go investigate some kids that were missing. It turned out that the old lady selling cookies was a hag in disguise, luring kids down into the sewers, so we had to go explore the sewers. We ran into some crocodiles down there that ambushed us, so to speak. My character, Cormac, used his Wand of the Wild using wild magic and turned himself into a sheep in the middle of these crocodiles, which was a short-lived experience, to say the least. But it was a bit of fun. Everyone had a bit of a laugh about that. But other than that, the story was a lot of fun to participate in. Had a lot of fun, exploring the sewers, I suppose, and just having a lot more jokes and things like that, which is always fun to have in these kind of games. I think it's really what makes Dungeons and Dragons so fun, is the silly things that can happen. So just scrolling up on that picture so you can see the full image together in a way. Moving on to the next one. So like I said, this one was one of my favourite adventures so far, and also one of my favourite drawings as well. So this is where we had to man a ship. We had a crew, but they had no captain and officers, so we had to take on those positions, which was really fun to roleplay. And we came across what they called a moving mountain, but it was a dragon turtle. So I took pretty heavy inspiration here for the ship itself. Found a picture of a ship that I liked the composition of, because I thought that was going to be important to portray what I wanted to, and tried to copy it as best as I could, changing a few things here and there, but the main thing was getting the shape of the ship, what was generally on a ship, because I haven't been on one of these before, obviously. Using reference was a big help here. But then it was a matter of creating the characters that we played with. So from the front, we've got Grimnir, which is the dwarf with the axes, with the tattoos all over his back, which you'll see more clearly later. So he's definitely the hothead of the group, first to strike, that kind of thing. We have been accused of being, by the DM, being murder hobos, partially because of him and partially because of me, I suppose. But definitely some fights that we could have avoided where one of us have charged in. But then next to him on his right is Wiltshire. So Wiltshire is, I believe he's a wood elf, and he's the ranger class. So his arrow does a ton of damage. He seems to always roll high on it. It's pretty amazing. We're using virtual dice, so it's not like he's got some kind of weighted die or anything like that. Then to the left is Cormac, so that's my character. I'm just using character names for all these, by the way. My character ended up, you would have seen there in some of the sketches, I had a rope that he was holding onto at one point. Decided to ditch that just because it wasn't working with the composition, I thought. But at one point, Cormac actually used the ropes to launch himself up on top of the dragon turtle, just because Cormac didn't have a lot of ranged weapons, so I needed a way to get onto the turtle. Grimnir actually did the same, but he just jumped off the ship onto the turtle. Once onto the turtle, made things a little bit easier. Again, I used the Wander the Wild to, this time I actually summoned a unicorn, which was very, very useful. Then to the back there, we've got Kryn, which is a dragonborn sorcerer, I believe. And then next to Kryn, we've got Mia. So Mia is a tiefling paladin, I believe. I might be butchering the pronunciation of that, but I think I've probably butchered the pronunciation of all three words. But she is also one that ended up getting on the back of the dragon turtle. So it was basically Wiltshire and Kryn that were doing the range attacks onto the turtle, along with the boat. So we had some of the crew members firing ballistas and whatnot from the boat. So yeah, I really like the way this drawings turned out. Really happy with the composition. The only thing that I'm possibly not very happy with is that sail, which I could change. But I think it's just kind of obstructing the dragon turtle a little bit. Also, the dragon turtle is sort of portrayed here in this drawing as smaller than it actually would have been. But I did that just so that I could get the whole thing in the picture without ruining the composition so much. So yeah, it's definitely larger than what it's portrayed here as it was described as moving mountains, whereas at the moment it just kind of looks like moving rock. But yeah, he does lighten up a little bit soon once I add shading and whatnot, which really adds to it, I believe. But let me know what you guys think. It's definitely the favourite of mine, but maybe it's just because I had so much fun on this adventure. I don't know. But it's out of the lot, this one's my favourite that I've done so far for the Dungeons & Dragons drawings. So there it is after I've added the lighting effects and whatnot to brighten it up a little bit, because I think it did need that. But next up we have a new adventure. So somebody new actually wrote this adventure. rather than the regular Dungeon Master. We had a new one, so it was fun to experience somebody else's take on that. So this one was a lot of fun as well. It introduced a new character to our guild, which was Deacon, the Bard, who is a kobold, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So I'm just drawing that interaction here. I've got Deacon standing up on the stool because kobolds are very short, trying to tell one of his stories, and a few people are interested. Cormac is very much not interested. So I've taken this character to be kind of like the Bard in The Witcher, where he's just super annoying and like annoying in a good way, like you love to hate him kind of thing. So I decided that Cormac would play the very disinterested take on it, and have that kind of relationship where the Bard is trying to get attention and Cormac's just not giving it, because I felt that would have fitted Cormac's attitude very much. But it was still a very fun adventure. I had to go investigate a mine that was producing iron ore that seemed to have been not of the best quality, so it was diseased in some way. Ended up getting to the root cause of that and fixing it. The end, we did need to rush through a little bit because a few of us had to end up, and it was close enough to the end that it wasn't really worth pausing it. But yeah, it was still a lot of fun for adventure. Deacon, I think, will be a reoccurring character because he was a lot of fun to interact with. I mean, Cormac tried to not interact with him, but it was a lot of fun to roleplay that at least. So yeah, I think this scene was the best to draw out of it, because that Deacon character is probably the favourite part of the adventure for me. So this last one, I think that I've rushed it a little bit. I had a bit of conflict of what I wanted to do and how to portray it. So on this one, the leader, I suppose, of the guild, the one that gives us our missions, he was missing, so we had to go find him, and we ended up in this caravan that seemed to take us to another dimension or another area, like it was bigger on the inside. So there were these gnomes that were faceless, that were giving us some encouragement to sit down and drink tea and whatnot, and then we would have been potentially hypnotized. So the guy on the left is hypnotized by this enchantment. The person on the right is not, so it didn't affect her. So there was two portals to go through, left and right. We ended up actually splitting up on this one, so that was very interesting. Made it go out for a little bit longer. So the conflict that I really had was with the gnomes. So I couldn't really portray the gnome because they were meant to be faceless. So the gnome features were hard to portray. So I've kind of gone the laser out and just put like a garden gnome hat on him. which is a little bit silly, I know, but it kind of gets the point across as well. But yeah, this one is one that we had to split up into 2 adventures, or 2 sessions, I suppose, but was still a lot of fun. I am possibly planning on drawing the last half of the adventure as well, but for now, this is what we've got. So that's it for all my drawings. Hope you liked them. If you did, hit that thumbs up button, and do subscribe if you want to see more. Next week my video will be out a little bit later, as I am doing another collaboration, and we wanted to bring the videos out at the same time. But do keep an eye out for that. It'll probably just be like a day later, I think, from memory. But yeah, like I said, hope you enjoy, and do subscribe.